YT gang, we back in the building with more exclusive news with your boy DJ Kenny Mac. Today we got Kodak Black. Kodak just scored a huge W in the court system, and I'm gonna explain all that to y'all. First, I need y'all to smash that like, smash that subscribe. I'm gonna jump right into it on how he could possibly be a free man coming up in 2021. Now here's where things get real interesting. Court records show that a judge signed a motion on Monday agreeing that the Florida native's criminal history was exaggerated when he was sentenced back in 2019. The initial order, which was filed by Kodak Black's attorney Bradford Cohen last month, states that the rapper pled guilty to a 2-count indictment and charging him with making a false statement in connection with an acquisition of an attempted acquisition of a firearm. That part. Now, during Kodak's sentencing in 2019, the court agreed that Kodak's history of drug use was overly stated and considered his criminal history a Category 2. But according to the PSI, which stands for Pre-Sentence Investigation Report, they noted that Kodak's history was a Category 3. And this is why there should be some type of prison reform. This is some type of example of why they riding out in the streets. The whole system is jacked up. It's more to it though. Peep this. The original motion, which was to correct a clerical error, states that despite the court deducting a 2-point enhancement, lowering Kodak's categorization, the Bureau of Prisons disregarded the information disclosed in the court and took action based on the PSI report, meaning that Kodak Black will have to serve out the rest of his time at a maximum security prison in Kentucky. Kodak Black's attorney made a statement with XXL to explain the new further development in further detail. He said, in quote, "The reason why we filed a Rule 46 motion to correct the clerical error is because the PSI listed his prior criminal history as a Category Level 3, which is obviously more serious than a 1-2. 3 is worse. Because they used the number 3, the judge agreed that at the time of sentencing, the Level 3 overstates his criminal history because some of his priors were possession of marijuana under 20 grams. Because Kodak was a number 3, that qualified him for the big house, and it can go up to a Level 6. The categories in which offenders are placed in are based on a scoring system. In Kodak's case, his drug offenses put him in a category that allowed the Bureau of Prisons to put him in a maximum security facility. Now his attorney is advocating for the rapper to be put in a lower level prison so he'll be able to attend a drug program which is not offered at a maximum security prison. So with the judge correcting the initial order and agreeing that the rapper's history was overstated, this now allows Kodak attorney to take this documentation to the Kentucky location where he's being held to get him moved to a lower level facility. And you know, once you hit the lower level facilities, the halfway house is usually the next stop, and then freedom is the next stop after that. So it's possible we could see Kodak being free in 2021. His initial release date was October 7, 2022. So, you know, we're going to keep an eye out on this story. It's a big W for Kodak. You know, nobody want to see anybody locked down, especially under circumstances that they don't have to deal with. Clerical error in 2020, y'all. We still having that, and y'all wondering why these people out here in the street tearing up these buildings, tearing up these police officers. It's no room for that. It's 2020. We got to get this right off the rip. This man could have been still sitting in prison off some error that they made, which ain't right. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. Make sure y'all leave a like. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Put a free Kodak in the comments for me. And new subs, we on that 2K grind. I appreciate everybody rocking with your boy DJ Kenny Mac. I'm out to the next one.